There is a question from Germany about this universe. It says, does Hudur think that there is sane life in outside our solar system?
No, what would it mean if I think?
So if you think it, then there is something, there is evidences.
I mean to say, the question should be, does the Holy Quran mention?
Yes, okay.
That is of significance. Otherwise, whatever I may think is of no consequence.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So correct the question first. This is exactly what the Holy Quran says. So now it will become a very meaningful message. The Holy Quran says, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَثَّ فِيهِمَا مِنْ دَابَّةٍ وَهُوَ عَلَى جَمْعِهِمْ إِذَا يَشَاءُ قَدِيرٌ. There are more answers than the questioner has asked. First of all, this verse of the Holy Quran tells us that the concept of your universe is defective. You think there are shells, plastic shells or things around you, and that is heaven. But if that is true, then no life can exist there which is like our life on earth. The word is not used in a vague term. It's not said hayat. It's said dabba. Dabba is a type of hayat which is specific. It does not apply to jinn. It does not apply to malaika. So this is the beauty of the Quran. It specifically mentions a type of hayat about which one may wonder whether it is possible for this type of life to exist elsewhere. Now, if the human concept which was prevalent at the time of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and which continued to rule the entire world of philosophers for 1,000 years afterwards, that the globe which we see, the heavenly bodies, constellations, they are the sources of light fixed onto a plastic shell, and that plastic shell is the first plastic shell we see, but beyond that there are other plastic shells at some distance. So first sama dunya, and then sama akhir, and so on and so forth, until the 7 heavens are completed. If this is the true understanding of the universe, then this verse cannot be right, because this verse speaks of a heaven with such bodies as earth, such bodies which can entertain the type of life which we know here on this earth. So this is the first message given. In answer to his question, I am telling him this question was answered by Allah 1400 years, some years ago, and some years ago, to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Tell the world that your concept of the heavenly body is absolutely wrong. It is different.
He says in his...
No, I'm coming to it.
Yes.
Now this is the first information passed. Two information.
هذه الخطوة الأولى. نعم.
وهو على جمعهم إذا يشاء قدير. إن يشاء is not said. إذا يشاء. And God has the power to bring them together. Here him is Zawil Akhul. It is not heaven and earth together. Allah tells us that whenever, not if so, when God would so decide, He'll bring the two types of lives, living here on earth and there in the heavens, together. And this is the information which was not included in the question, which is yet far beyond the reach of the present generation of scientists. They're still contemplating the possibilities of life beyond earth. And a larger number of scientists now is convinced through mathematical calculations that it is quite possible, quite likely, that life like ours may exist elsewhere in the heavenly bodies. But they are not sure, they have not yet received any signals. But in America, a body of scientists is now working day and night for trying to receive signals from other heavenly bodies. And they are heavily funded by the American people or American government. So the search is on. They have taken the message of the Quran without knowing it. And Muslims are unaware of even the existence of this message, unfortunately. But Allah tells us Allah will bring them together when He so pleases. How together? What is the meaning of together? Together may mean through communication. Together may mean here on earth. Together may mean there. We may fly out. So all these are possibilities open now before us. Only when man is advanced enough, or Allah has so decided, of course, then we'll realize how we are going to get together. Please.
I want to comment.
Another relevant question which should have been asked, yet is not asked, still it is answered in the Holy Quran. Great book, unbelievably great. The question should be asked, if it is dabba, which is mentioned to exist also elsewhere, then conditions like the earth should also be found prevalent elsewhere. Because dabba cannot exist in the luminous bodies of the heaven. All that man saw in those days of the heavenly bodies was just the stars, moon, sun, stars, and none of them was capable of providing means of livelihood for any dabba. So it is another information which is needed. Do bodies like this earth also exist elsewhere? Now this is a question which is for the first time raised in the Holy Quran. Never before anywhere in the world among the philosophers or among the divine books. And here is the question and answered. This is Surah At-Talaq. Allahu allazi khalaqa sab'a samawatin wa min al-ardi mithlahunna. Sab'a samawatin wa min al-ardi mithlahunna. It's not the only earth you think you have. He's created in the likewise, like the sama, He has also made other earths. Yatanazzalu al-amru bainahunna. Like He is in contact with us, so also He is in contact with the Zawil Ukhul of the world. لِتَعْلَمُوا, so that you may know, أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. What a beautiful verse it is, eh? وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ أَحَاطَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عِلْمًا. There is nothing you can think of for which Allah does not know the answer, and this is an example of that.
Inshallah, that means when this communication comes and we know that this then we will know that Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir.
That's right. Ahata bi kulli shay'in ilma. Then we will know. MashaAllah. Another thing, the Holy Quran has covered all aspects of this question. You see, what Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companions and all the world saw as heavenly bodies, none of those bodies was capable of entertaining dabba of any type. All the visible sama was incapable and still is incapable of taking care of a dabba. In fact, it is hostile to the existence of Dabba. So when the Holy Quran makes this claim, it also makes a claim but that there are other bodies as well which you do not see. And that is why you read a verse so often in the Quran, خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا. And this bainahuma is missing from all other scriptures. It's only in the Quran. The other scriptures speak of what is heaven and what is earth. And they never speak of whatever in between the two. And the Muslim never considered what the meaning is. What is in between? What is in between? The scientists have discovered now that the dark matter which we do not see is larger than what we see in mass, in quantity, and in so many ways. So what we do not see is the unknown part of the universe, and the earth have to be among those, because the earth cannot be seen from beyond, because the conditions are such that they never illuminate, they never radiate. So that is why the Holy Quran fulfilled that blank, that whatever sama was seen by Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his followers at the time was still incapable of entertaining life. So where was the life kept? The Holy Quran has answered, وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا. There are so many other things of which we have no knowledge.